have not seen anything of scale that can occur in the Zaporizhzhia region, in the city of Enerhodar. This is the biggest nuclear station in Europe, and any damage to it, any accident there, I put that in quotes, any attack on it can result in something catastrophic, not just for Ukraine, not just for Russia, but for the entire continent of Europe, if not the world.
Let's turn now to Ukraine, where concern centres on the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has said any potential damage to Zaporizhzhia is suicide, calling for Russia to withdraw from the site to avoid causing a nuclear disaster. Let's speak to Sviatoslav Yurash, who is Ukraine's youngest MP. Morning to you.
Morning to you as well.
Tell me how concerned you are about what's happening at Zaporizhzhia. The Times is reporting today that there is concerns that there could be a Russian false flag operation there where ultimately they essentially attack the plant themselves and then blame Ukraine for it.
The reality is that we have not seen anything of scale that can occur in the Zaporizhzhia region, in the city of Enerhodar. This is the biggest nuclear station in Europe, and any damage to it, any accident there, I put that in quotes, any attack on it can result in something catastrophic, not just for Ukraine, not just for Russia, but for the entire continent of Europe, if not the world. So it's not playing with fire, it's playing with death. And the result of this is not just suicidal, it's essentially taking all of the world into the Russia-Ukraine war, because you are essentially destroying any kind of notion of nuclear security.
There is talk, isn't there, after the meeting between Antonio Guterres and President Zelensky yesterday of trying to set up an independent mission, mediator, someone who can go in and basically take care of the site and make sure that it isn't attacked, either deliberately or accidentally. Do you have much faith in that actually coming to fruition?
That's the only option. There is no trust between Ukraine and Russia for many generations to come. The reality of the war in which our country is fighting shows that Russia is not to be trusted with any agreements, any understanding, any possible steps in any kind of mediation. So any international body that can step in and help try and safeguard Europe and the world from this nuclear tragedy is a welcome sign, but we are far from that point at this moment.
How important do you feel Antonio Guterres' visit has been to Ukraine?
Well, this is basically a chance for UN to prove its relevance. If UN safeguards at least this and provides this kind of security, again, not just for Ukraine, not just for Europe, but for the world, this is a chance for UN to show that it is a useful institution. So this is welcome, but it's far from done. So again, as soon as we see this succeeding, then we can talk about this being successful. But again, Antonio Guterres' visit in general is a welcome sign that the world cares and the world is here and the world is trying to step in one way or the other. But again, much more is needed to stop the attack that has started 8 years ago, but has expanded by the biggest state in the world to try and destroy the biggest state in Europe.
We know that Turkey has been working a bit as an intermediary, if you like, between President Putin and President Zelensky. There was some suggestion that maybe the Russians would offer peace talks, a conversation with the Kremlin. But President Zelensky is very clear that until all Russian troops are out of Ukrainian soil, then there are no talks.
Indeed, Russia wants to try and play and legitimize itself in the national community by essentially pretending that it's willing to entertain some talks. We've seen the results of those talks when we had agreement on the grain shipments from Odessa, and the very next day had a Russian missile attack on these storage facilities. So yes, mediation, international community in the discussion is fundamental to find at least some ways to force Russia to keep to some of its promises. But again, we are yet to see the end result of that.
Thank you ever so much for speaking to us this morning. I'm very grateful to you.
Thank you very much. All the very best.
Take care now. That is Sviatoslav Yurash, who is Ukraine's youngest MP. We've been speaking to him regularly, haven't we, since the invasion of Ukraine back in February. He's sounding tired, isn't he? And understandably so. But real worries about what could happen around that nuclear power plant in Zaporizhzhia in the south of Ukraine.